The launch of the redesigned Lexus NX is right around the corner. Now, we don't have official details, but things are starting to sprinkle in that we need to talk about. Now, before we get into these new details, take everything with a grain of salt. I have no way to confirm how credible this information is, but I'm going to go with my gut on this one, and I'm going to say there's a really good chance that these things are likely true for the upcoming NX. So let's get into my Word document, followed by a spreadsheet this time around. And if you're excited for the new NX, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe for more information. By the way, I will be going to Plano, Texas in just a couple of weeks where Toyota, I'm calling it ToyotaCon. Toyota and Lexus are supposed to be unveiling some new products. They haven't told us what they're going to be, of course, but if I was a betting man, I would bet on the new Toyota Tundra to be unveiled, as well as the Lexus NX to be unveiled there as well. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon so you don't miss my hands-on coverage of those vehicles or whatever is unveiled at ToyotaCon here in a couple of weeks. All right, this is why you came. New details on the new Lexus NX. Now, the plug-in version that is commonly known as the 450h Plus at this point in time will be available from day one. In fact, this will be the only engine option in that specific European country. So depending on the market, and Lexus and Toyota do this regardless, they definitely shift their EVs to partitions of the world that require, by government and by market demand too, more EVs for that area. So for example, I don't know if this 450h Plus is going to be available at launch here in America, and we will talk about launch later at the end of today's video. But if it does come to America at launch, I wouldn't be surprised if the plug-in hybrid 450h Plus is prioritized to California, Washington, West Coast countries, and maybe specific states that have higher emission standards that align with the California emissions regulations. So that will be very interesting to see what sort of availability is for the 450h Plus. And more than likely, it's going to use the 18.1 kilowatt hour battery that we see in its stablemate. And I call it the stablemate because it's built on the same platform, the RAV4 Prime. We still know the RAV4 Prime availability is not great, especially here in the States. So it will be very interesting to see how Toyota and Lexus portion those batteries for the upcoming NX 450h Plus, not only in the United States, but globally. Now, what about the other powertrains? 250, is that likely only for North America? If this European country is only getting the plug-in hybrid, not the 350h, the brand new 350h non-plug-in hybrid, that's really interesting. And they're not going to be getting the new turbocharged engine either. So it will be very, very diverse with this new NX across the world. USA will have all of the powertrains, and I'm sure a lot of the other countries, I wouldn't be surprised if China has all the powertrains too. So what are those powertrains? Yes, let's get into the spreadsheet real quick, then we'll get into some of the more of the information that we have. I'm expecting a base model NX 250 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. This is the same engine in the RAV4. A25A FKS, 200 horsepower roughly, and 8-speed transmission. In America, we'll of course get the 350, which is based around a new turbocharged engine, 0.4 liter increase in displacement. I'm guessing around 300 horsepower and maybe a little bit more pound-feet of torque. Again, all new 8-speed automatic transmission for this model anyways, since the outgoing NX has a 6-speed. Now the 300h, at least for everything I'm hearing, there is going to be no 300h on the new NX. It's going to be a 350h. And I don't know how they're going to hybridize it exactly. Ideally, it would be the same hybrid setup or something similar to what we see in the Toyota Sienna, as well as the Toyota Highlander hybrids. That gives us 245 horsepower. I want more horsepower than the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, which comes in at 219 horsepower. So hopefully they give us more horsepower for the more expensive luxury variant. Now the 450h Plus, they could go the super conservative route and just put the entire RAV4 Prime powertrain inside the NX, but I sure hope they don't, especially after them showing us the Direct 4 presentation where they can put a lot more torque and power in the rear axle. So hopefully they give us around 300 horsepower, just like the RAV4 Prime, but a lot more torque, especially in the rear wheels. If you look, 177 what is definitely possible for pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels compared to the RAV4 Prime's meager 89 pound-feet of torque and extra meager 54 horsepower on that rear axle compared to a potential over 100 horsepower and almost 200 pound-feet of torque. So hopefully they give us something more potent in the plug-in hybrid 450h Plus. Time to get into more details. The ability to summon your car from your smartphone and have it drive from its parking space and up to you will be available on the NX. I mean, there's not that many cars out there that can do this. Obviously, Tesla comes to mind. I believe they're one of the first to pioneer this sort of technology. I was not expecting it from Lexus actually this early, and I have a feeling this new NX in terms of technology and automation is going to be a whole new ball game for Lexus. Interestingly, this technology was mentioned for the upcoming Lexus TX, or whatever they decide to call that large three-row crossover that's going to be built in Indiana alongside the Grand Highlander. That's what we're assuming that those vehicles are going to be called. Now, they also said that three-row crossover is going to have your smartphone as a key. So I would not be surprised if this continues not only as a summoning tool, but also as your key. So no longer you're going to have the key fob on you. You just have to have your phone. So that is a likelihood for this upcoming NX. Next piece of information here. The door handles will not be mechanical at all, but fully electronic. Opening the door takes one singular action. Put your hand inside the door handle, and either by sensors or buttons, the doors will open. I'm going to go out and say by sensors because, I mean, look at all of the smart access door handles nowadays. When you put your hand in the door handle, it unlocks. So it wouldn't be that much more extra for Toyota and Lexus at this point to just put a motor inside of the door. And when it senses your hand, as long as your phone or your key is in proximity to that sensor, it's going to crack the door open for you. I don't expect it to be just straight up like, watch out, here comes the door. No, it's going to just crack the door and you're going to have to do the rest. Now, what also could be pretty badass from this is that we could be having soft close doors as well on an NX. Holy smokes, that is super badass. I mean, I'm getting excited. The only Lexus vehicle that I know that has soft closing doors is the LS. That's been like that way for a long time. So they might be incorporating that finally into some mainstream products. So this was unexpected for me. I'm wondering if the BZ4X will have this, the fully electrified on the new ETNGA platform will have it. I mean, the door handles look fairly same between the BZ4X and the new Lexus NX based off the leak we got. Just me, a little personal fear. If there's no mechanical workings inside the door to open the door, I don't know. I would just get a little paranoid and like, what if the battery goes out, you know? And are you stuck inside your car? You're stuck outside of your car? So things like that worry me a bit. I just want to place caution on technologies like this that really take control out of our hands in some ways. Convenient, maybe, but also a little bit worrying. I'll see you guys down below and what you think about that. Now, speaking of control out of our hands, these electronic door locks will be connected to sensors so that if the vehicle or pedestrian is approaching them from behind, you will not be able to open the doors from inside until the coast is clear. Now, I have no idea what kind of sensors. Are they just going to be basing this off of a new rear camera system, or is there new sensors built into the vehicle to be able to test for this? Now, of course, I don't want human error to cause accidents, injuries, or the doors getting blown off by a car driving by. But on the flip side, if I want to get outside of my car and I know there's a car coming, but I know I have enough space, is the car also going to know I have enough space, or is it just going to keep me stuck inside my car even though I might have a couple feet to get outside of the vehicle? So I just worry about certain things like this. Until I see it done in the real world, I don't like control being taken out of my hands. I'll see you guys down below on that as well. Also, the source of this information said they could not wait for the launch on June 12th. Like I said, I have no idea when launch is going to be. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys anyways. So I don't know if launch is going to be June 12th. Everything we've been hearing has been, October, late September. So it could be that the information embargo on the new NX could be ending June 12th. I'll be there from June 1st to June 4th. And I believe it's the 2nd is when they're going to be announcing new products. And the 3rd is potentially when I could be driving these new Toyota Lexus products. I think it would be fairly reasonable to say this information could be publicly available by the 12th. If Toyota is in fact, and Lexus is in fact sharing this information with press in just a couple of weeks between the 1st to the 4th. Guys, thank you for all the well wishes. I am starting to feel better. It's a slow process. At night, it's a bit rough, but in the day, my energy is pretty good. And I just need this voice to get back to normal because I've had a CX-5 in the driveway for a week and I can't go out and review it because I can't talk at length for very long. Like, my voice might be gone for the rest of the day from this. And so hopefully I can rally and review the CX-5 today, if not tomorrow, because after that, I'm getting a Lexus GX for review. Anyways, guys, I'll end it there. Bit long today, but I'm sure you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.